about the two-state solution. The Foreign Affairs Committee here is studying what they call the quickest path to recognize a Palestinian state by the government of Canada. Do you think that is a useful exercise? Could it lead to peace if Canada does so?
I beg your pardon, but I am not comfortable with language like useful exercise where there is and imagining government officials or parliamentarians entertaining themselves in useful exercise when there is a genocide ongoing. The priority is to stop the genocide. If the government here, the parliamentarians want to call it ceasefire, call it pear and apple, call it the way you want, but this is the priority. The rest is secondary, which doesn't mean that the recognition of the state of Palestine is not important. My question is, if this country has entertained the discussions on the two-state solution, how come it has not recognized the state of Palestine yet? What is to be debated? So again, recognition of the state of Palestine shouldn't take time, should be automatic, should be an act of coherence. Otherwise, if you don't recognize it, it means that you shouldn't be talking about that at all. Why are you even a voice in the debate? It's about coherence. I know that what I'm saying is blunt, but we need to be blunt because the impunity that has been granted to Israel for decades has led to this, which is a disaster both for the Palestinians and the Israelis. And again, diplomatic talks has been turned into a place to justify the unimaginable, the illegal. So yes, the state of Palestine should be recognized. Let's move on. But the point, the question is not that. The question is self-determination. Even if you recognize the state of Palestine and it's merely a perfunctory act, what do you do to realize the right of self-determination of the Palestinians? Is Canada spending any of its political capital to make sure that the genocide ends as soon as possible, the ceasefire, whatever? But then there is already a deadline set for the end of the occupation. The ICJ has passed an advisory opinion which declares the occupation unlawful and to be dismantled unconditionally and totally as rapidly as possible. And that as rapid as possible has been defined by the General Assembly. It must happen by September next year. What is Canada doing to ensure that the occupation is dismantled? And then, more than this, there is apartheid. I know that in this country you feel uncomfortable with the word apartheid, but you have to tell me why. Because I, together with Israeli human rights organizations, Palestinian human rights organizations, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, Harvard University, and thousands of Israelis, talk about apartheid and give you the evidence of it. And here, like in other parts in North America, I hear, we cannot say that